Hello and welcome back to the KCC channel. I'm Rob and I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Today we're jumping into some malicious compliance. Our first story today comes to us from Herobrine20XX. How GameStop tried to trick me twice. Let's jump right in. It was a few years back, my friends got me Watch Dogs, a video game for my 20th birthday. The game was not out yet, so they pre-ordered it in a GameStop. And they got a quite expensive edition, about 70 euros. As the game was not out yet, I got some papers to retrieve it when it's released. It was actually a Micromania, the French GameStop, owned by GameStop. I will refer to GameStop to make it easier. The game had some delays and was released a year later, so I instantly went to GameStop to get my game the week it was officially released. I showed the papers to the cashier and owner, and he told me, "Sorry, but your gift card is expired." And I was like, WTF are you talking about? The game just got released like 2 days ago. Seems like when you pre-order a game at GameStop, they give you a document that says that you pre-ordered the game so that they keep it in stock, and a gift card of the amount of the game. And this one expired after a year, so a few weeks back. I tried to explain my situation to the owner. My friend pre-ordered a game, and I just came to get it when the game was out, nothing unusual. The guy was visibly upset as I didn't want to pay 70 euros for my birthday gift already paid for by my friends. He told me that he'll have to call some guys to see what he could do. I heard him have a couple of laughs on the phone with the guys, so I thought it was going to be okay since the owner seems to know the gift card guy. Big mistake. Never assume someone actually cares about your situation. The owner told me that after speaking with the gift card guy, he can only get me 40 euros of the 70 euros and that I'll have to pay the remaining 30 euros. I was furious, but I was also pretty shy and didn't want to make a scene. He told me I could fill a complaint later to GameStop to get my money back, but seriously, that was just an excuse to get me out quickly. I finally agreed to pay the remaining 30 euros and fill a complaint when I got back home. I got redirected a couple of times, and I was getting furious at the situation. They didn't want to hear anything, and they often just did not respond at all. So after a week of me sending mails, I said something along those lines. If I do not get a response back before tomorrow night, I'll start by spreading my story to social networks and notation services. I'll explain how I ended up paying 100 euros instead of 70 euros for a game before taking it to court. Kind regards. I did get a response after this email, stating that gift cards were only available for 1 year. They didn't want to admit their mistake, but they were offering me 6 vouchers of 10 euros for my loyalty. I asked for 30 euros cash, but since I got 60 euros to spend on games, I took this as a win and accepted. They mailed me the 6 codes, and I happily went back to GameStop to buy some games. I didn't remember what I chose, but when I went to pay, the cashier, who was the same guy as last time, told me that he can only apply 1 voucher per buy. So since I got a 60 euro game, I'll have to pay the remaining 50 euros since he can only apply 1 10 euro voucher. I literally froze. Like, WTF? Is there some hidden camera? Is this some kind of joke? I told him I won't pay for this game and took a look around the store. That's when I saw them, a big pile of 10 euro Steam gift cards. So I put on a big smile and told him I'll get this 10 euro Steam gift card. The guy was visibly confused, but accepted and applied my voucher, so I got it for free. Once he handed me the bill, I said thank you and told him I'll also take this 10 euro Steam card, and also that one, and that one. Steam is an online platform to buy games, way easier and cheaper than GameStop. The guy was visibly kinda angry and told me something like, wasn't it like 30 euros missing, not 60 euros, while scanning all my codes and giving me my Steam gift cards. I said, yeah, but I got angry, which must have sounded a little fun since I was a really shy guy and looking so. In the end, I followed exactly what they said and ended up with 60 euros free Steam gift cards when they wanted to trick me with their vouchers. I like to think that they didn't make a dime of profit with this since they bought Steam gift cards for their real price from Steam. Needless to say, I never went back to another GameStop or Micromania ever in my life. Now, before people go off in the comments about how the company's changing and all that, OP had an edit at the bottom of the story. It says, "I'm sorry, but I really don't care about GameStop's new chairman or whatnot. I was just here to share a cool story. Yes, it's old, 2014 to be exact. Yes, it's not GameStop, but Micromania owned by GameStop. And no, I did not do it just to crap on GameStop. I just thought it was fun to share, that's all. I think OP was actually pretty genius for buying the Steam cards in this case. I mean, games are generally cheaper in Steam, and they get to stay on your account so you can reinstall them whenever you want. It's not like a disc where if you lose it or if you break it, well, you're just SOL and it's gone. Do me a quick favor and take a look down below the video. If that subscribe button's still red, it means you're actually not subscribed to the KCC channel. Please hit that subscribe button for more daily Reddit stories. Our next story today comes to us from Extreme Attitude 7696. Christian preacher, malicious compliance in the church. Let's jump right in. I am no longer a minister in a Christian church of about 300 people on the East Coast as of yesterday, 1/24/22. Things have been really tough over the last several years for the church and me personally. COVID lockdowns, mother-in-law's suicide, marriage almost done. I've had anxiety breakdowns, and this is on top of all the church drama. You experience people and circumstances at the best and worst in the ministry. I decided to step down from my role as the preacher at the end of November in 2021. In years past, the ministers have left on bad terms and it hurt the church. So I wanted to rise above that and be the person I preached about. So in reality, I wasn't doing anything special, just trying to be a respectful and kind guy. I gave the church like a 4 weeks notice with my resignation on 12/1. Only 2 weeks required though. I was also due a 4-week paid sabbatical, just a rest period, but I was willing to forego that for a shorter period of rest at the beginning of the year, and I would help the church out however I could. This is important for later. It's also important to know that times were tough to find good ministers right now. No one wants to deal with the church drama anymore. There is a massive exodus of preachers, and I've officially joined the ranks. The leaders asked me to help them formulate a what's next plan, so I tried to be as helpful as possible. Here is the plan I submitted on 12/6. 1. I would become the interim preacher on 1/1/22. 2. I would take a rest from 1/1/22 to 1/23/22 instead of a full sabbatical. Note, vacation resets at the beginning of the year. I have 4 weeks. So I could have been a jerk and kept quiet in January, took vacation in February, and then peaced out. 3. I would return to preach on 1/30, help lead the church, help find a backfill, help hand off my other duties. I oversaw the website, social media, and pretty much ran everything. Very important for later. I overworked myself, which led to my wrecked marriage, burnout, and resignation. 4. I had some vacation left in 2021, so I saved it for the last week in December. The church was closed anyway, so no big deal. I just really needed a break from preaching and church from 1/2 to 1/23. Unfortunately, I got called back from vacation to preach on 1/2 because the other 2 ministers got sick and couldn't preach. So again, trying to be the good guy, I sacrificed my vacation to prepare a sermon and preached on 1/2. Payday comes around on 1/21/22 and I don't get a deposit. I email the leaders who haven't spoke to me since 1/2. What is going on? They decided I didn't deserve my sabbatical pay, even though I do, and I could have made it worse. And all they would give me is minimum wage for the time I worked beginning in February. I said no. Despite the disrespect and unloving nature, I gave them an offer. Pay out my due sabbatical and I'll direct charge my time in February at my current hourly rate. What was their response on 1/23/22? We have decided to terminate our professional relationship, clean out your office, and hand in your keys. Now, I made financial plans based on getting paid by the church. I told them this. I told them that I sacrificed my sabbatical in 2020 because of COVID, and the youth minister knocked up a girl less than a year out of youth group, so I couldn't take a sabbatical. And oh, guess what? They paid that youth minister full salary while he was on an administrative discipline for 3 months. Messy situation. Maybe I'll tell more one day. At this point, I feel angry. I am pissed. I started my new job on 1/3, but I also was planning on the income from the church for the first few weeks until I got paid by my new job, and I had been telling lots of people I would be returning soon to preach again. I'm not bragging, but I was really well liked and loved by many people, and I helped lead the church through COVID to have its best year it has ever had since 2013. So as of 1/23/22, I am no longer an acting representative of the church. Trigger malicious compliance. I am the admin on all the social media, website, app, web plugins, and more. I receive a text today on 1/24/21 from one of the leaders. I got an email you removed yourself from Planning Center, which then brings up what other accounts do you hold, especially at the admin level, or more importantly, are the only admin on. I believe you are the only admin on Weebly. Would you assign me as an admin on any accounts you are the only admin on? Appreciate it. Sorry, former boss man. I am no longer an acting representative of the church. Maybe you should have honored the plan I laid out last month. Figure out how to run the app, edit the website, and log into all the socials. Laugh out loud. Petty? Maybe. But I did everything I could to make things not just right, but good for the church. Where did that get me? Kicked to the curb. But I have to admit that the Bible promised me such things, and if this is the worst of life, I have much to be thankful for. Lessons I learned. 1. Don't think for a moment people won't be selfish and act in their own self-interest. 2. I am guilty of doing the same thing to others. 3. Life is messy inside and outside the church. 4. Accept that all people, especially Christians, are broken people. Adjust your expectations and act accordingly. End. Now for this one, OP was given some great advice in the comments by a user called IT Guy Doing IT Things. It says, they terminated the relationship, that was their choice. Not taking into account all that your role entailed, also their choice. Not asking for all the needed info prior to terminating the relationship, their choice. My reply would be simple, a text that says, as leaders of the church, you chose to terminate the relationship. The consequences are yours, not mine, as I'm no longer affiliated with the church per your decision. And then nothing more, unless and until they choose to pay what's owed. Well, OP, just like a lot of the other stories we have on here, what you were doing was a job. You were getting paid to do that job. And if they're holding back your wages, then you need to go talk to an employment lawyer and get that money back. Our next story today comes to us from Mojo88Forever. Worry about your own department? Okay, let's jump right in. I've worked at a national grocery chain for the past decade plus in various roles along the way. A few years ago, I was at one of the first stores in the entire company to have online ordering. I'm sure you have seen it near you. Order online, come to the store, we bring it out to you. When it first rolled out, I learned very early how to do every stage of the process, even though it wasn't my job title. It impacts everyone in the store, so I wanted to know the ins and outs of it so that I would be ready for what it meant for me. Early last November, my current store started doing online ordering. They couldn't get anyone to transfer from nearby stores, so they had to hire an entirely new crew and send them other places to be trained. This training only lasted a few days, then the system went live. Even the department head was one of these new hires. No one knew what they were doing. Whenever someone pulls up to get their order, a loud doorbell in the pickup office rings. This office is right by my department in a major hallway, so I can hear it. In the first week, this doorbell would ring and no one would come back to the department to get the order. They'd just keep shopping for the order they were working on. They had a phone on them that also chimed, but they ignored it. This led to long wait times and unhappy customers. I started paging over the intercom anytime a customer was waiting for pickup. I would get orders ready, so the pickup clerks just had to take them out. Whatever, my department never suffered for this help. It was something I could do quickly and efficiently to help them keep afloat. Well, one time a customer called the store directly, and I happened to answer it. She said her pickup time was at 1. She got there at 1, and she had been waiting for 30 minutes. She was pissed. I got her name and checked the computer, and saw that the shopping for her order wasn't even complete yet, and none of the pickers were shopping for that order. They were picking orders that weren't due for pickup for another 3 hours. I called my store manager and told her what was going on. She yelled in my ear, "Why are you even answering the phone for them? You need to stop making pages, stop hovering over that department, and worry about your own." Not what I expected, considering I had the most experience with online ordering, and these new hires had no idea what they were doing. My store manager knew this, but I said, alright, and hung up with her. I picked up the phone call with the customer and told her it would be a while and that I was unable to help her further. I also recommended she come in and speak with the store manager if she had any concerns. I went back to my department and started working. It only took a few minutes before I heard the store manager being paged to the front, and the shouting that ensued could be heard in every corner of the sales floor. But it doesn't end there. As I said, this program was rolling out in November, and Thanksgiving was just a few weeks away. I stopped helping in any way. No overhead pages, no staging orders, no answering phone calls, nothing. The amount of orders skyrocketed, and the department was constantly incredibly far behind. They routinely had to call customers and tell them they'd have to come later in the day or even the next morning. Pick time plummeted, wait time skyrocketed, efficiency ground to a halt. It was horrible. And I just kept my department in tip-top shape, giving the new hires sympathetic looks whenever I would see their beleaguered faces. Eventually, the store manager came to me and asked for my help. I'd love to help, but I was told rather emphatically to worry about my own department. Now, I knew that I was in no position to say no. If the store manager told me to do something that I was trained to do, saying no was insubordination and a fireable offense. But that didn't stop me from reminding her that it was her who put them in that situation to begin with. I took great pleasure in the sigh she gave and the genuine apology that followed. I accepted her apology and went to help. The workers are much better trained now, and, for the most part, the department is running smoothly. I no longer have to help as much as I did in those early months, but my store manager is happy to have me when the need for help arises. Well, OP, it sounds to me like if you're the one who can help out that department and get everybody trained, that's the time that you ask for a raise, because you're doing a lot of extra work that's not really in your job contract. And as for the manager, well, sometimes arrogance needs to fall on its face just to see how stupid it is. I'm glad the manager came around and apologized. That's not something you get very often. Check out all 3 OPs linked in the description down below. I thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.